It's been a minute since I posted anything on my sub-only content, and I apologize for that. I've been not feeling good for a while now, and I've also, for a minute there, I spent some time just focusing on some family time, turned the camera off, and just wanted to get off social media. But then, it's like God was like, it still wasn't long enough of a break, because I feel like, honestly, I was carrying this, like, resentment and, like, energy towards everything that's going on, and I was just about to spew stuff, you know? And I didn't want to make my platform about that. I never did. I never wanted to be the person who got up on my platform and just spoke about drama and everything. I want to just focus on me and my kids and everything in our lives. Sorry, it hurts to breathe right now.
Stephanie Jenkins is saying that she hates missing work. And so for her, having a job means content creating. It means recording yourself sweeping rocks. But the reason why I think she was sweeping rocks is because she is on them. I think she's going on a bender. I think she's dope sick. I don't really think she's actually sick because she seems to be getting sick a lot. Um, but they always seem to spiral. Like there is genuinely a pattern with Stephanie Jenkins and Drew Jenkins when they get their payout. Don't feel bad because she is not really working. All she's doing is videoing herself not taking care of her kids.
The internet streets are heating up again, and this time, the spotlight is burning a little too bright on Stephanie and Drew Jenkins. What once looked like a chaotic but lovable couple navigating parenthood and social media fame has morphed into something way darker and way messier. The cracks in their picture-perfect facade aren't just showing, they're splitting wide open, and what's slipping through has everyone talking. So, where do we even start? Maybe with the boopsa moment that started it all. Stephanie accidentally uploaded a video to her public TikTok, one that was definitely meant for her private subscribers. And trust, this wasn't some casual vlog. It was a shaky, low-energy confession where she opened with an apology for going silent for 2 weeks.
I always feel like I have the most awkward angle in this car because it just feels like I'm just like scooped into it. I don't know another word to say that, but let's get into it. It's been a minute since I posted anything on my sub-only content, and I apologize for that. I've been not feeling good for a while now, and I've also, for a minute there, I spent some time just focusing on some family time, turned the camera off, and just wanted to get off social media.
But here's the kicker, she had only been absent from her public account for 4 days. Her paid supporters. They hadn't heard a peep since early July. That little detail didn't just make her look inconsistent, it exposed something bigger. People started wondering, if this is how she treats her paying community, what's happening behind the curtain? And then, almost like clockwork, she dropped the God card. According to Stephanie, the reason for her sudden break was spiritual. God told me to rest, she said.
But then, it's like God was like, it still wasn't long enough of a break because I feel like, honestly, I was carrying this, like, resentment and, like, energy towards everything that's going on, and I was just about to spew stuff, you know?
A convenient revelation considering the timing, right when her son, Deshaun, was supposed to be visiting his biological mom, Desiree. The internet didn't miss that detail. In fact, it felt like classic distraction tactics, whip up a little pity storm, redirect the conversation, keep eyes off the actual issue. But this time? It didn't work.
And I didn't want to make my platform about that. I never did. I never wanted to be the person who got up on my platform and just spoke about drama and everything. I want to just focus on me and my kids and everything in our lives. Sorry, it hurts to breathe right now.
The video wasn't just mistimed, it was weird. Her voice was off, her energy felt hollow. She was stumbling over words and rambling through vague explanations. Longtime followers noticed it right away. Some even pointed out that her strange demeanor has a pattern, it always seems to align with TikTok payout dates. Around the 15th of every month, she disappears. Then when that direct deposit hits, she's suddenly back, disoriented, off-kilter, and spinning another emotional saga. It's a cycle people have seen too many times to ignore.
Okay, this is my professional addict opinion on why Stephanie and Drew go ghost for a few days every month. So the last time we saw her, she was outside sweeping gravel. We know only one kind of person sweeps gravel, for the most part. So I think they're getting all this money, like, especially from TikTok, because you get paid in the middle of the month or whatever. And I think we, like, see them in real time, like, on a bender and, like, spiraling, like when she was sweeping. And then the bender gets so intense that they don't worry about social media for a little while. If you've ever been on one, you know, like, you're worried about doing a million and one other things besides sitting on social media, making a video, all that. You really can't at that point. But I think that's why. It definitely wouldn't surprise me, that's why. But don't worry, they'll be back in a few days because they'll need more money.
And while Stephanie's doing her thing online, Drew Jenkins is. Where exactly? That's another mystery fans have started picking apart. Drew's presence is inconsistent at best and completely absent at worst. When real-life problems rear their heads, like custody rulings, public backlash, or concerning behavior, he's either conveniently quiet or nowhere to be found. People are beginning to ask whether Drew is enabling the chaos, dodging it, or just flat-out lost in it. The real twist in all of this? Stephanie keeps talking about health scares, serious ones. Chest pain. Shortness of breath. Brain fog. She claims she got her heart checked, but curiously avoided doctors after that.
For the last couple of days, it's been about 5 days now, I've been dealing with this pain in my chest. Hurts really bad to take a deep breath, and I'm not sure what the frick it is, and I'm not even gonna get into that. I did get some testing done, and I'm really just not the type of person to spend too much time on stuff at the doctor's office. I mean, you can judge me for that, but I believe in herbal medicine. I believe in like natural medicine, being in tune with your own body, because I've been in this body for 30 years. Doctor in the ER don't even know me, so that's just how I feel.
No. Visit, no full evaluation, no mention of her lungs being checked, even though breathing was her biggest complaint. And yet, she had enough energy to compare the pain to being worse than childbirth. For someone so scared and in pain, it's odd how quick she was to dismiss real medical help. Instead, she dropped some vague lines about stress, trauma, and maybe hormones. It didn't land the way she thought it would. People weren't sympathetic. They were suspicious.
She's been gone for a few days because her heart is really hurting, and she's gone to the emergency room, which she's strongly against. Stephanie Jenkins does not like to go to an emergency room because she says she doesn't necessarily believe in Western medicine. She believes more in like natural remedies and so on and so forth. But then she goes and contradicts herself and says, well, my babies need me, so I needed to check my heart. Which one is it?
The inconsistencies are stacking up. One minute she's the struggling mom trying to hold it all together, the next she's back to blaming external forces and invisible enemies for her missteps. She says she's doing better for the kids, but her actions paint a different story. The kids are still stuck in the same cramped motel setup, with no sign of school routines, proper clothing, or any kind of enrichment. The money's flowing, between gifts, live donations, and her subscriber count, but none of it seems to be making its way to the kids. So where is it all going? And while Stephanie's been hogging the spotlight, Drew's silence has become its own character in this drama. Is he overwhelmed? Checked out? Hiding something? Or playing the long game, waiting for the moment the house of cards finally collapses? Because what we're witnessing now isn't just a family in crisis, it's a full-blown performance where chaos is the script, and the kids are just props in the background. Let's be real, her latest health scare wasn't about seeking help. It was a spectacle. This wasn't concern, it was textbook damage control, masked with spiritual buzzwords and half-baked medical explanations. The moment she sensed the narrative slipping, she did what she always does, she grabbed her phone, turned on the front cam, and gave us a shaky, emotion-drenched monologue. Let's talk about the money trail, though. Because the one thing that's never missing from this mess? Cash. Not for the kids, mind you, but for new tripods, fancy ring lights, fresh appliances, and what looks like a new phone, judging by that upgraded video quality. She has money. That's not the issue. The issue is what she does with it, and more importantly, what she doesn't do. Her son, Tola, still isn't talking. Speech therapy? Not even a consultation. Instead, we get content. Video after video, while this little boy falls further behind. It's not about affordability. It's about priority. And time again, Stephanie makes it clear where her priorities lie, and it's not with the kids. Then there was the Facebook post. Oh, Stephanie. She poured out a dramatic, winding message about her pain, chest tightness, breathing struggles, and compared it to active labor. Again. But then said doctors found nothing. No heart issue. And instead of being relieved, she doubled down on the dramatics. She threw in some vague reference to DRD, likely trying to sound medically in the know, and insisted she wasn't looking for pity, while very obviously crafting a post designed to fish exactly for that. She said she doesn't like being the center of attention, but that's exactly the role she keeps writing for herself.
Jenkins just made a new post on FB, and Stephanie's going to be taking some time off from content creation to apparently rest and recover from another mysterious illness she has this time. Let's talk about it. Here's a post she made this morning. She says, I've been trying to rest, focus on the kid, and focus on her recovery from whatever's going on in her chest. She says she's always been the girl that hated to miss work. And this is the part that really got me. She says, I know y'all don't see content creating as an employment route. She then goes on to make a bunch of excuses and say she just wanted to let us know she's taking it easy for a little. Now, absolutely no one is saying that content creating isn't a real job. We're just confused of where the money is going. Stephanie initially started this journey in a one-bedroom apartment, saying she wanted to start creating content so she could better their lives. She gains the following, starts making money, continues to degress, so it just doesn't make any sense. We are annoyed that you have all the resources to better your life and you're just still not doing it. This whole post on FB, she could have got paid for by making it into a short video. Literally just talking into the camera like I am right now, in any effort to truly get her kids out of that hotel room. So the real question is, Stephanie, at 300,000 followers and millions of views every month, what is the real reason content creation isn't working and you're still in this motel? And you can't blame it on the haters because they're the ones getting you more views. Another point I found funny is that she keeps reiterating that she would tell us what she's going to do with this GoFundMe money, yet doesn't tell us what they do with all the money that they make from TikTok and YouTube.
Every time she feels the spotlight dimming, she cranks up the emotion, recycles the same lines about trauma and struggle, and reminds everyone she's an influencer. That this is her job. That she hates missing work.
I was really hesitant to go, but I wanted to just at least get a scan done and make sure my heart was good because my kids need me. So, told me my heart was looking good. I was like, okay, I will follow up with the primary and I will take care of, figuring it out on my own. Just trying trial and error kind of thing, trying different things to see if it helps. Right now, I'm just trying resting a little bit. Sorry, someone threw me off because they started looking at me in the car. I don't know why it throws me off when people start like watching me record myself in the car like you're about to post it on the internet. Chances are this person's going to see it anyways. In fact, it was my neighbor who already knows I am on the internet. So anyways, I've just been resting and trying lighter diet choices, maybe stuff that's not as heavy on my heart. Not that I'm even saying it's related to my heart because I don't know what it is. That's just what I'm trying. And then we'll try the next thing. It actually seems more maybe muscle related because less been holding my baby on this side instead more often, and like I said, just resting, and it's helping a lot. So I'm sorry if I'm rambling. I'm gonna make another video after this. It just feels like it's been forever since I've chatted with y'all. I'm tired, I'm in pain, but I'm gonna keep going. And yeah, there's so much to talk to you guys about and so much to update. I just feel like I never get the freaking time, especially and this, like, you could imagine, it was already hard to get alone time to do like voiceovers or anything like that in the apartment, but here in the motel it's even harder. I could be like outside in the yard, but it's right out in a neighborhood, so I feel like people can hear me almost anywhere I am. And it's just, I don't know, it's not that I'm like worried about people watching or listening to me make a video because like I said, it's gonna be posted anyways. It's not really the part I care about. It's just that I like to be in my own zone to start making the video and post it, and I just feel more myself doing so. And maybe that won't be the case once I've gotten out of my bubble a little bit more. And like I said, people don't get this. For Drew and I both, having an environment where the kids have their own space and we can like actually make it a home, it's gonna reflect on our personalities a ton. It would reflect on anybody's personality, but I'm sorry I'm rambling. I really am.
But babe, let's call it what it is. This isn't work. Sweeping gravel in a parking lot while talking to your phone isn't a career. Filming yourself mopping motel walls while delivering yet another emotionally unhinged rant isn't productivity. It's content. It's chaos dressed up as hustle. And that, more than anything, is why so many people are done giving her the benefit of the doubt. Because for someone so proud of being a full-time creator, there's zero progress. She once had an apartment, remember? Back in the early days of monetizing her mess, she actually had a full space for her family. It wasn't perfect, but it was a step up. Now, years and hundreds of thousands of followers later, she's backslid into a one-room motel where 7 people are crammed wall to wall, sleeping, living, surviving in conditions that are anything but safe. And this pattern? It's not new. The internet's caught on. The money rolls in, the energy shifts. She disappears, spirals, and re-emerges with a teary video full of excuses. Lather. Rinse. Repeat. This isn't survival, it's strategy. A loop of dysfunction that keeps her afloat, but never lets her move forward. And it's her kids who are stuck paying the price. One of the most jaw-dropping examples of this was the infamous car birth. No, not barely made it to the We're talking literally gave birth in the car. Why? Because she waited too long. She delayed the process to the point where the hospital became an afterthought, and once she did get inside, she couldn't wait to leave. No rest. No proper recovery. Just a mad dash to get discharged so she could get back to the mess, because in Stephanie's world, control matters more than care. Even in life-threatening moments. That tells you everything you need to know. She's not just surviving the chaos. She's addicted to it. Holding the reins tighter every time things fall apart, convinced that if she's the one narrating the story, she can never truly be held accountable. What we're watching now isn't just dysfunction, it's deliberate. It's an entire ecosystem she's built out of chaos, wrapped in hashtags and tearful TikToks, and carefully framed under the guise of motherhood. Stephanie's growing mistrust of doctors and professionals has morphed into something dangerous. It's not skepticism anymore, it's defiance. She doesn't just avoid medical evaluations, she replaces them with Google searches and trending TikTok videos. She's diagnosing her own kids based on hunches and internet comments. Little Bubba. She's already labeled him as developmentally delayed. Jew. Stephanie casually declared him autistic after one vague observation. No speech therapy. No pediatrician consultations. Just vibes. And it's not because she can't access help. She absolutely could. She has the resources. She has the time. She has the income. There's money for ring lights, LED backdrops, upgraded phones, and fancy kitchen gadgets, but none for a developmental screening. Because deep down, it's not about money. It's about control. If she lets a doctor in, if she allows an official diagnosis, then the story stops being hers to spin. A professional recommendation means action is expected. Documentation means accountability. And accountability is Stephanie's biggest fear, because that spotlight she so desperately clings to would shift from her struggle to her neglect. So she does what she's always done, spins a bubble of selective truth around herself. One where she knows best. One where every red flag is a misunderstood moment and every child's delay is just part of her unique journey. But the cracks in that bubble are now too big to ignore. And people are done whispering about it. What used to be quiet concern has turned into something louder, a movement. One that's not interested in cancel culture or digital drama for the sake of entertainment. This time, people want change. The Unfollow Stephanie campaign is gaining traction, not because viewers are angry, but because they're tired. Tired of the same cycle. Tired of pretending it's just quirky parenting or a struggling mom doing her best. Because it's not. This is emotional manipulation disguised as authenticity, and the cost isn't clicks, it's kids. Stephanie's critics are no longer commenting, no longer duetting, no longer calling her out. They've figured out the game. Every reply, every argument, every call-out still fuels her engagement. So now, they're doing the one thing that actually hurts, vanishing. Quietly walking away. No more views, no more likes, no more emotional reactions. Silence, the very thing Stephanie dreads, is now the message. And it's working. Her visibility is slipping. Her numbers are dipping. And with every untagged video and unanswered comment, the illusion of influence weakens. The hope? That the dwindling audience will force her to finally reflect. Not post. Not explain. Reflect. That the reality of losing the platform she built on dysfunction will finally shake her awake. But let's not get too optimistic just yet. Because if history's taught us anything, it's that when Stephanie loses control of the story, she crafts a new one. The health scare. The emotional Facebook essay. The late-night live full of sobs and scripture. She's done it before, and if the pressure builds again, she'll do it all over. And it's getting harder and harder to watch. Because the problem was never the messy life millions of moms struggle, it's the performance of it. The way every moment becomes a scene. Every meltdown becomes a monologue. Every child becomes a prop. And no matter how loud she insists she's doing it for them, the truth plays out differently on screen. She has the tools that so many struggling parents could only dream of: an income, a platform, a following willing to help. But what she lacks, and has always lacked, is the willingness to put herself second. Her version of focusing on the kids is just lip service. No improved housing. No signs of medical progress. No structured education. Just one chaotic backdrop after another. The same motel room. The same tears. The same excuses. This isn't parenting, it's production. And the more she scripts her life for strangers, the more those closest to her are left in the shadows. Stephanie doesn't just avoid growth, she avoids truth. She's mastered the art of survival through spectacle, and the result is a family locked in a cycle of dysfunction that's now become content. So now we're here. The platform is cracking. The support is fading, the audience is slipping away. And the question that everyone's quietly asking is no longer what happened? It's, what's she going to do when there's no one left to watch? If you've made it this far, you already know, this isn't just drama, it's a deep dive into a digital disaster unfolding in real time. What do you think? Is this Stephanie's breaking point or just another act in the same tired play? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next chapter of this ongoing saga. Trust me, it's far from over.